What is going on, everybody? So I could not find a good comprehensive video about how to sand and polish your masters at all on the internet. So I wanted to try and get that together and show you guys step by step, because this is my first time polishing and sanding a set of masters also, and I'm super nervous. So I want to try and alleviate that for some other people. You will need Zona papers, and I put all these on just a glass frame that I took out of a picture frame. You'll need a cup of water, and then you'll need some polish. And I use Meguiar's Ultimate Compound. This was recommended actually by a couple people. I think it actually works really well, so I would recommend this, or maybe you want to use like the Stretch X Meguiar's that they have out also. Now, when you first get your masters, you will want to let them sit for a couple of days just to make sure they've finished hardening. Obviously, you put your polish on the last two Zona papers. These are kind of the finishing product Zona papers. You do want to be very careful not to over sand, which I will show you that too. You want to make sure all of your Zona paper and your dice kind of stay constantly wet. This is a long process. This probably in all to polish and finish my master dice has taken like 8 hours or so. It took a very long time. Obviously I did take breaks and stuff, but this is kind of the prep, and you will be doing this for some time. It is honestly hard work, so just kind of get ready. Now, as I continue to get things ready, I do want to go over just a couple of tips. Make sure, again, I used a glass surface here to make sure everything was flat. You obviously have your 3D printed dice right here, and it is a lot harder to over sand than you would think. I was very nervous that I was going to over sand and ruin these instantly, but yeah, it is definitely a lot harder than you think. Do not worry. You want to dip your dice in the water, get them nice and wet. I've got the water on the Zona papers, and then we'll go ahead and get started. Whenever I got started, on every side, I counted till about 10 Mississippi on each side. So do 10 Mississippi on this Zona paper on one side, hop to the next Zona paper, count about 10 Mississippi, and you're constantly going back and forth, getting a little bit more water, making sure things stay nice and wet. And you are slowly getting rid of all those micro scratches, divots, things like that. Now, you want to make sure you are keeping everything as flat as possible. That is harder said than done. But as you're going, just continue to dry off your dice, check it, take a good look at things. It is kind of hard to tell if anything is left because just the water spots and everything. But once it dries, you'll be able to have another attempt at any of the sides that are kind of looking rough. So don't worry if they aren't perfect the first time. I promise you'll be able to get it, but you can kind of tell the difference this is making on the dice, and I'll try and have close-ups of those so that you guys can see kind of what the finished product should look like. Once you have your dice to a point where you think it's fully sanded and polished, go ahead and drop it in just a cup of warm water. That helps dissolve some of the polish and stuff that gets into the numbers, and it makes it a little bit easier to clean later. And then once you're done sanding and polishing all the dice, go ahead and get a soft bristled toothbrush and get some soapy water, just some hand soap or anything like that, and you're going to want to clean off any leftover polish or anything in the numbers of the dice. While you're doing that, you can kind of check things over, make sure there aren't any other micro scratches or anything, and then you'll want to put them outside in the sun for like 5 minutes. And then after all this is done, you want to wait another, usually like week, maybe 2 weeks, to let them degas, and then you'll be ready to make some molds. Whenever you're making your molds, if anything is still kind of sticky in there, just test one of your dice first, and if you do get that stickiness, it probably needs to sit for a little bit longer. That's okay. If you really don't want to wait, you can get something like Inhibit X, which does save you the week or two if you're in a hurry. So yeah, it just really depends on your needs. That should be everything. I tried to keep the video going while I was giving you all the extra information so you guys could kind of watch the process. And here is at least the finished degassing phase, and I should be good to make some molds here in just about a week or so. So thank you all for watching, and I hope this helped.